All of us, regardless of preference, have days when we prefer our own space and others where we want to be around people. But everyone is somewhere on a spectrum of introvert to extrovert. These characteristics don't refer to whether somebody likes people or not. Most people like people. People who don't are generally psychopaths. What introversion-extroversion refers to is the effect of being around people or conversely alone, and what it has in terms of our emotional energy. Introverts are fundamentally energized by isolation. They need their own space. If they spend too much time in the company of others, they become exhausted, then they need time alone or in more limited company to re-energize. Mild to moderate introverts may just get a little quieter until they get a little me time, at which point they're fine. Severe introverts can find being around people at all tiring and making it hard to focus. Extended exposure, even for a few hours, can bring total emotional exhaustion. Extroverts, in contrast, are energized by being around people. It's not that they like people more than an introvert, it's that their psyche is wired to draw energy from socialization. They need society. If they spend too much time alone, they become drained and exhausted and will need to be around people to re-energize. Mild to moderate extroverts may get a little cranky if left to work alone for too long. Severe extroverts find it hard to function effectively outside of a team or a group. Emotional exhaustion occurs when an introvert spends too much time amongst people or an extrovert spends too much time alone. Exhaustion will characterize itself as literal tiredness, an inability to think as quickly or clearly, and inability to manage emotions effectively. Emotional exhaustion should be avoided. It's a bad thing. So be aware of whether people are naturally introverts or extroverts. It's not about being likable, empathetic, or a nice person. It's about emotional energy. Often the only way to tell is to ask someone. If they're an introvert, you may need to give them space, especially if they've been working with clients or in a team. They'll function better alone or in a restricted environment. For many, working from home is their dream. Forcing them into an open plan office is pretty much a guaranteed way to reduce their performance and how happy they feel. In contrast, an extrovert will work best in teams, won't like being given individual projects so much, and will function best in a busy, chatty environment. These behaviours are easy to spot at the extremes, but remember, we're all on this spectrum somewhere. Some of us are just easier to identify. Understanding this will help you get the best from team members and colleagues and create a healthier and happier working environment for your company.